Mental beauty is meant to elicit a new way of thinking, living, and breathing. Mental beauty is meant to equalize the weight of physical and mental well-being. Mental beauty is meant to accept your whole self and others, regardless of ailment, compromise, or imperfection. Mental beauty is meant to be recognized and redefined as a do-over in thoughts, mindsets, perceptions, and future insights. So embrace it, embody it, become it, and own it boldly, and at the same time, your expression of it sparks curiosity and becomes someone else's learning, inspiration, motivation, empowerment, and hope. There are numerous interpretations of mental beauty as you give yourself permission to make it yours as you see fit. And no matter the perspective, with the openness of this invitational phrase of the mental beauty rethink, there is no right or wrong, good or bad, and absolutely zero judgment. Mental beauty allows you a new and clear lens to see mental well-being in the absence of stigma. Mental beauty becomes a much more invitational approach to break down barriers of mental stigma. Mental beauty is enveloped with full unconditional acceptance of yourself and of others. Mental beauty has the bountiful capacity to normalize mental well-being. When you embrace the mental beauty rethink concept, you automatically ignite that positive shift towards breaking down barriers of mental stigma. The collective richness of what this phrase has to offer is beneficial to all individuals, no matter what walk of life you come from or live in, all due to its shield against any form of negative connotation associations, while redefining what overall mental health is truly all about. Through the embodiment of the mental beauty rethink, each of you out there provide an opportunity to every individual in your community to be seen in equal light to physical health, which in turn achieves the endless possibilities for creating emotionally safe spaces for all to be in, while we fully immerse in self-healing, self-discovery, and self-fulfillment. I encourage each one of you out there to claim the mindset of the mental beauty rethink as your default way to view your world. Let this be a vow to each and every single one of us that we strive to make each of our communities globally open to emotional risk-taking, vulnerability, authenticity, unleashing, redefining, and continued storytelling. So, let's break that silence and tap into mental beauty. This is Salima Jadafji, your podcast host, a practicing social worker, and your mental wellness connoisseur. I am tremendously passionate and optimistic regarding all things mental health, with over 2 decades of experience in mental health across diverse sectors, including community services, private organizations, healthcare, and education. In my thriving private practice, as a specialist in transformational processes and trauma-informed practices, I lead as an expert in the mental health field, helping individuals navigate the complexities of anxiety, depression, perfectionism, grief, workplace and situational stressors, sleep disorders, among other challenges. Together, we navigate complexities using my deep understanding and professional skill set to empower my clients to regain control and thrive. My approach is deeply compassionate and committed, rooted in my life's purpose to serve and facilitate your journey towards healing and empowerment. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show as we step into a direction that allows us to dive deeper into mental beauty. Episode 105 of the Dare to Share Your Untold Story podcast, Mental Beauty Segments. Today, we are focusing on navigating family dynamics. I'm thrilled to have you all here as we continue our journey together. For those who are new to the podcast, a warm welcome from your self-care pro and mental wellness connoisseur. You're joining a community committed to breaking down the barriers of mental stigma and embracing the concept of mental beauty, a term which I have coined to intentionally invite each of you to embrace the nuances of what mental health is all about, while taking an approach that allows each of you to normalize, prioritize, equalize, and embody an invitational means of seeing and accepting mental well-being, and of course, without judgment. I'm excited to continue our journey together. Remember to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast. Together, we can break down stigma and promote the mental beauty rethink to its highest level. Thank you for being here, and let's get started. As we get started, please remember the insights shared in this podcast are intended to enlighten and entertain, not to replace professional medical advice. If you have any concerns or need guidance, please seek help from your healthcare providers. Take gentle care of yourself and know that support is always available. Today, we're diving into an incredibly important topic: navigating family dynamics. This discussion is inspired by episode 82, titled "A Mother Learning to Effectively Parent Children with Mental Health and Addiction Challenges," featuring Maureen Towns. Maureen's journey is a powerful example of how we can navigate complex family situations, especially when mental health and addiction issues are involved. Her story, which she frames as "We see others as we are, not as they are," highlights the importance of understanding our own perceptions and reactions in family dynamics. Maureen shares about the importance of managing family relationships while maintaining our own well-being. Her open sharing serves as a valuable lesson for all of us facing similar challenges in our families. Now let's listen to some powerful insights from Maureen's journey. Tell me, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear that phrase, the mental beauty rethink?
Well, I love the phrase, and what comes to mind is the first time that I was really challenged to rethink what I viewed as a mental health challenge. And it was during a program that I took through a family connections program here in Calgary. And it was meant for families or parents of children with borderline personality disorder. And I'd always really felt the heaviness of that diagnosis and the heaviness of my own experience with my kids with that diagnosis. And when I went to this program, the facilitator talked about the beauty and the gifts of borderline personality disorder and really reframed the whole concept for me. And one of the things that she said was that, without people who feel intensely, which is something that borderline personality disordered people do,
Right.
without people who feel intensely, we wouldn't have the arts, we wouldn't have poetry, we wouldn't have music, we wouldn't have a lot of the beauty that connects us as human beings. And that really helped me to see the beauty in everyone, no matter whether there's a diagnosis or a challenge. Everyone's experience and everyone's humanity and everyone's journey just carries so much beauty. And we're all of us experiencing mental health challenges at one time or another. And it was beautiful to rethink how I saw that.
Yeah, it's beautiful that you're able to make that connection. It's a really nice remembering with a very personal sharing, because it's really something that got you to rethink. And I guess this phrase is like a reminder of that. Yeah, the mental beauty rethink. And it sounds like, from how you've expressed it, it's like this idea of like, we all have a little bit of something. And it's going to be unique how it shows up for each of us.
Yes.
And so I love hearing people share with me what comes up for them, because I often find I don't hear the same thing twice.
I bet. And I really love the phrase, because I think it really speaks to the mission that you're on, helping people to rethink mental health and see the beauty in it. when you talk about the stigma and eradicating the stigma around mental health, and it's such a noble quest, I think, that you're on, and I commend you for it. It's amazing.
Oh, lovely. No, I really appreciate this sharing. It's so insightful. Thank you, Maureen Towns, for sharing such an authentic message. In her episode, Maureen talks about her experience as a mother of 4 children, each struggling with their own mental health challenges. She opens up about her journey from a codependent parenting style to learning how to effectively manage these complex situations while taking care of her own mental well-being. What strikes me most about Maureen's story is her shift in perspective. She describes how she was challenged to rethink her view of mental health challenges, particularly borderline personality disorder. This reframing helped her see the beauty in everyone's experience, regardless of diagnosis or challenges. If you haven't already, I encourage you to go back and listen to her full episode. Her words about uncovering her truth in a chaotic process are very insightful and perspective shifting. But don't go anywhere just yet. Stay with me for a moment as I have some important insights to share with you first, and then you can hop off and listen to her full episode. Let's explore how Maureen's experiences align with the mental beauty rethink concept. Maureen's story perfectly aligns with our mental beauty rethink concept. It's about seeing the beauty in our struggles and challenges rather than viewing them solely as burdens. Maureen learned to appreciate the intensity of emotions that come with conditions like borderline personality disorder, recognizing that without such deep feelings, we wouldn't have many of the arts that connect us as human beings. Her journey also highlights several crucial points. First, the importance of self-care when dealing with family mental health issues. Second, the need to let go of control and accept that we can't fix everything. Third, the value of setting boundaries and learning to detach with love. And fourth, the realization that being a parent doesn't mean being a case manager for your children's mental health. Maureen's experience of feeling overwhelmed, unable to sleep, and constantly in crisis mode is something many of us can relate to when dealing with family challenges. She had to learn to break free from codependent parenting and focus on her own well-being to effectively support her children. This journey of self-discovery and learning to navigate complex family dynamics is at the heart of mental beauty. It's about recognizing that our challenges can lead to growth, and that by taking care of ourselves, we are better equipped to support our loved ones. Okay, it is story time. And for today's story, I'd like to share about a breakthrough one of my clients experienced in our work together. We'll call her Lisa. She came to therapy with Dare to Heal, struggling with complex family dynamics and mental health challenges within her family. Lisa had always been the emotional caretaker, spreading herself thin to support everyone around her while neglecting her own needs. This constant caregiving left her feeling overwhelmed and burnt out, without realizing that she was sacrificing her own well-being. In therapy, Lisa began to unpack the pressures she felt to always be the pillar of support and started recognizing the toll it was taking on her mental health. She learned to identify the ways in which she was overextending herself and not prioritizing her own needs. Through our sessions, Lisa gradually embraced the importance of self-care and setting healthy boundaries. She started to implement small but significant changes like carving out personal time and learning to say no without guilt. Lisa discovered that taking care of herself allowed her to be more present and effective when supporting her family without the constant burnout. By the end of her therapeutic journey, Lisa felt empowered to navigate her family dynamics in a healthier way, maintaining her own mental health and mental well-being despite the ongoing challenges within her family. Lisa's journey embodies mental beauty in action. She discovered her inner strength through embracing vulnerability and focusing on the art of self-care, while nurturing her family relationships. Her story proves that prioritizing your own well-being empowers you to support others more effectively. I hear you saying, Salima, that is awesome for Lisa and Maureen, but I want to know how I can take charge too. Awesome sauce, because that is just what we are about to do right now. So now let's look at some practical tips that can help you embrace your own mental beauty. Let me share 3 practical mental beauty tips inspired by today's discussion. 1 is to set healthy boundaries. Clearly define what behaviors and interactions are acceptable to you and communicate these boundaries assertively but kindly. This allows you to protect your emotional well-being while still engaging with family members. Another tip is practice self-care and mindfulness. Prioritize activities that nurture your mental and emotional health. This could be as simple as taking a walk, meditating, journaling, or engaging in a hobby you love. Mindfulness practices help you stay grounded and centered, making it easier to handle stressful family situations. And the third tip is seek support and perspective. Don't hesitate to reach out for support. Whether it's a trusted friend, therapist, or support group, sharing your struggles can provide valuable insights and emotional support. It's essential to remind yourself that by setting boundaries, practicing self-care, and seeking support, you are better able to accept your circumstances, prioritize your own needs, and maintain healthy connections with your family. I'd love to hear how you implemented these tips and what impact they had on you. Share your experiences in the comments. Now let's take a moment to reflect on today's discussion. As we wrap up, I'd like to share a special self-care technique that can help you integrate today's learnings into your own mental beauty practice. What I want you to do is create a personal time block in your daily schedule. That's right, a personal time block. This is a specific, non-negotiable time each day dedicated solely to activities that nurture your well-being and bring you joy. Bring you joy. Here's how to implement it. Choose a consistent time slot in your day. Plan enjoyable activities for this time. Protect this time as a sacred appointment with yourself. And make it a daily habit. By creating and committing to a personal time block, you ensure that you are prioritizing your needs and taking intentional steps to nurture your mental, emotional, and physical health. This practice helps you maintain balance and resilience, enabling you to handle other responsibilities more effectively. Now, doesn't that feel so awesome and fantastic? All right. Thank you all for being here, for supporting this podcast, and for being your unique, awesome selves. I appreciate your support and dedication to breaking down mental health stigma. I'm excited about the amazing things that we have on the horizon. Want to be in the know about our upcoming events just for you, including our spring and late summer retreats and our webinars and digital supports? Go to our website at daretoheal.co or go to bit.ly/join the Dare to Heal community to sign up for our Dare to Hear newsletter and become part of our community of mental beauty-focused peeps. Plus, gain more tips and juicy insights like you enjoyed today, delivered directly to your inbox. Until next time, remember, in our mental beauty community, you are worthy, you are beautiful, and your mental health matters. Go forth and live your most mentally beautiful life. Now, before you go, if you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to check out episode 82 for more insights from Maureen on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. So now you can kick your feet back and hit play to give this episode a listen. Please recommend these episodes to your friends or loved ones, and let's spread the message of mental beauty. P.S. My lovely mental beauty listeners, I still dare you to share the podcast with anyone who could benefit from these insights. If you haven't already, remember to subscribe, leave a review, share something amazing you want me to give a shout out for on your behalf. Just send an email to mentalbeautycommunity@gmail.com. Share your desire to share your untold story as a guest. All you have to do is visit daretoshare.co, scroll down to where it says submit your story and select submit now. And share today's mental beauty tip with a friend or a loved one. Spread mental beauty, stop the stigma. All right. Once again, thank you for being part of the Dare to Share Your Untold Story podcast, mental beauty segments, and embracing the uniqueness of the mental beauty rethink, which allows us all to have a voice in breaking down the barriers of mental stigma.